The Patriots sitting pretty there, enjoying a great defense on a historic pace. Tom Brady looks young as ever. Will Selva, what's going on up in Boston?
Well, let's see. Now we will look at the 2000 Ravens and how they compare to the Patriots. Ooh, the numbers are very, very close. The 2000 Ravens defensive unit is considered one of the best the league has ever seen. Baltimore allowed 165 yards that season. That was a record low. Imagine someone coming along and potentially shattering this number. Well, imagine no more. The 2019 Patriots can realistically do it on this current pace. New England would allow 109 points. Quarterback Tom Brady has to face them every day at practice. He's also seen some great defensive units in his time. Even he thinks this unit is special.
You know, the way our defense is playing, as long as we don't turn it over, you know we got a great chance to win because they're playing as well as any defense I've ever played with, which is just, it's really spectacular to watch from the sideline.
Yes, it is. Well, NFL Network's Kim Jones is reporting Giants wide receiver Sterling Shepard back in the concussion protocol following Sunday's loss to the Vikings. According to Kim, Shepard displayed concussion-like symptoms on Monday. He's expected to miss a considerable amount of time. Shepard's teammate Saquon Barkley hobbled by a high ankle sprain, but you wouldn't know it. Head coach Pat Shurmur says Barkley is doing great and that there's a possibility he could play later this week, going so far as to say he's closer than he was last week. Barkley has insisted he would beat estimates of his return. His backfield mate, Wayne Gallman, remains in the concussion protocol, and there's little optimism he's playing on Thursday night. But for Shurmur to say that there's a possibility, we know that Saquon is superhuman. Doubt that's going to be the case. Maybe if it was the game on Sunday, but wow,
right.
Saquon Barkley, that'd be something else, huh?
I hope he heals up fully and before he comes back. Thank you so much. Well, I think Kyle's more interested in another person playing for the Giants being on the field.
Yeah, there's a part of me sentimentally that wants Eli Manning to play this game. Put him in. I mean, I love Daniel Jones, but the fact is there should be 8 banners in Gillette Stadium, and Eli personally ripped down 2 of them. There's going to be so many shots of Eli on the sideline against Brady. Is there a way Pat Shurmur would just say, you know what, we're going to go with Eli this week. We love Daniel, we're going to go with Eli. That's what I want, Pat.
I don't see that quarterback change happening, but there is some quarterback stuff happening in the nation's capital. The Redskins looking to move forward after parting ways with head coach Jay Gruden early yesterday morning. Now, with more on the coaching situation and the quarterback situation out in Washington, here is our own Mike Garafolo. Mike?
Thank you, Kay. Well, Jay Gruden out, Bill Callahan in. That much is clear by now. But what does it mean for Dwayne Haskins going forward here? That's a question foremost amongst many people's minds around the league right now. Callahan made it clear during his press conference on Monday that Haskins is not in contention for the starting gig right now. But when I asked him what does he need to see to get there, he said, well, he needs a package of plays that he's comfortable with, a package that he knows are his plays. And so the implication there is that under Jay Gruden to this point, the offense really hasn't been tailored toward Haskins. So Callahan and now offensive coordinator Kevin O'Connell, who, by the way, will be calling plays for the Redskins going forward, will be trying to do things that tailor more to Haskins' talents. But he's going to have to show it to them on the practice field since he's not going to be playing. And they're back on the field on Wednesday here in Ashburn. So we'll see if it means increased reps for Haskins in practice as he tries to make a case for 2019 and beyond. And this coaching staff tries to make a case for 2019 and beyond as well.
Never a dull moment for these 2019 Redskins. Thanks so much to Mike Garafolo there. Do we agree with Bill Callahan's decision to keep Haskins on the sidelines for this one? Kyle?
Remember learning how to drive? You would borrow your parents' car or whatever it is and learn how to do it. Like, you can't have a car that you're learning to drive in when the fender is dragging and there's no rear view and the thing barely runs. Like,
I beg to differ.
Okay. Well, okay, maybe you can get into that, but if you could have your choice, ideally you wouldn't. This is a beat-up old car that Dwayne Haskins they're throwing him into. I don't want him to crash and wrap himself around a phone pole. You know, we talk about Baker came in last year and came in was really good right away. Baker had Jarvis, Baker had Chubb, Baker had good players around him. This is a very bad Redskins team in the middle of a very bad season. I don't want to throw Haskins right there behind the wheel of a car that barely drives. I'd rather go long term.
I'm with Kyle on this one, and it's not so much about the talent around him. I'm also looking at Dwayne Haskins. Like, Jay Gruden had every incentive in the world to put Dwayne Haskins into this game. He hadn't learned the playbook, he hadn't mastered it, and he hadn't. You have to go in front of the team right now and look at 52 men in addition to everyone and be like, this gives us the best chance to win. You guys are all veterans. This is the guy we're going with. If they're playing the Dolphins, who are arguably the other worst team in football, and they're saying that it's not even a consideration to start Dwayne Haskins, that tells me that either A, he's not ready yet and we're protecting him, B, he hasn't mastered the playbook, or C, the darn offensive coaching staff has to get him going at some point, and they haven't done their job. I look at Tim Rattay, who's the quarterback's coach. He should be sitting next to Dwayne Haskins 24 hours a day, getting him in that playbook, saying, learn this thing.
Maybe he is.
And I look at Kevin O'Connell, the offensive coordinator, saying, you're this young, bright star. Let's get an offense going so we can see the first-round pick. It's not all on Dwayne Haskins, but some of it is. Some of it is. These guys have to come together and figure out a way to get him on the field.
Listen, I agree with you guys 100%. If they're not putting him in right now, then there could be something deeper than just having his talent on the field. I can't speak on it. I don't know enough about what's going on within the organization to tell you that Dwayne Haskins does or does not know the playbook. But I'll make it real personal to this table.
No, you got it.
You remember when we first started this show? I'm not sure we were all ready for where we are now. We started this show and all of us heard the same thing. You know what? This could be over in a year and a half. We don't know if the morning show is going to work in New York. And now, 4 years later, we're sitting here moving one of the best shows in the business because we took our lumps in real time and we worked through all those little things. This is bigger than football. Let me give a parallel and a life lesson to everybody at home. Experience is the school of hard knocks, and the fees are high, and it's going to cost you blood, sweat, and tears. By blood, you will get hit from the blind side. By sweat, you will work harder than you ever worked before. By tears, just like a rookie quarterback, you will make mistakes. I say go ahead and throw him out there. Go ahead and let this young man play. And Schrager, you said it. It's the Miami Dolphins. As a player, I would never say a name of a team so disrespectfully, but this year, it's the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, what if he loses to the Dolphins, Nate? That's a bad luck.
What if he wins and the confidence rides high and all of a sudden this team has something to smile about and the fan base has something to cheer about? I say go put him in.
What's his confidence like right now, quickly, before we hit break?
His confidence?
Yeah, let's put me in his shoes. What is he feeling watching this? What is he feeling getting taken out and putting Colt McCoy in? What is he feeling after throwing 3 interceptions against the Giants? Where's his confidence level right now?
I think it's the same confidence that Peyton Manning had after he threw 3 interceptions in his first start. It's the same confidence that every young quarterback goes through when you have to hit the reset button. I was told as a young player, have a short-term memory.
Okay.
Forget about it, move on. That's the only way you can be successful.
That's my worry. What is this doing to him?
I think it's rattling him.
Dwayne Haskins?
Peyton Manning was drafted as a savior and put in game 1. Dwayne Haskins was drafted to save the franchise. He's sitting there because they're not ready, and he's sitting behind Case Keenum and Colt or whatever.
And they're 0-4.
You know what I mean? Like the silence is deafening.
Rattling him?
Yeah.
He's a multi-million-dollar quarterback that plays for the Washington Redskins.
How come he's not in?
These are grown men that are football players.
Can you explain why he's not in? Because there's something really compelling that they're not putting him in.
The only thing that I can assume is that he doesn't know the playbook. And if that's the case, then don't put him in. Yeah. But I feel like if you're a good coach, you can create a basic game plan around a young, inexperienced quarterback to get through a game versus the Miami Dolphins.
Do you ever walk down the street in New York going to your car and there's people in front of you and you're just trying to get through them and it makes you kind of
all
angry?
The time. I can't stand it.
Does it make you kind of angry?
Pisses me off.
You ready to get angry?
Yeah! That's why I run them over and I get arrested.
Whoa!
Hey, Chris Carson. He got the Angry Runs crown last week. Sent a picture back. Guys, we got a wild Angry Run segment this week, and it includes Lamar Jackson.
And highlights from 49ers and Browns. Some of those Niners who are angry.
I want to give one to Kittle. I didn't get it last night.
We'll talk about power rankings. Trace, you're up.